It's currently 11:40 on Saturday. I can't be asked to do a less scuffed intro, but I'm hoping that the next hour and a half makes up for it. This might be the best interview that I've done so far. It practically ran itself. I'm getting more comfortable, I had some better questions, having two people to fill in fills in that dead space, and these two individuals are both masters of their craft. They might be the best sideways surfers in recent history, although they'll both admit Maggie will always be number one. This episode features footage from Cryptiss and Maggie, which make up the lion's share of the video in this episode, but there's also clips from Louieismyname, Fast Tops, KZ Climb, and a few others I'm forgetting to mention, but if you're a footage owner and want to contact me, please hit me up on Discord. Enjoy.
Cryptiss, be louder. I'll just hide throughout
I'll
the
just scream at the top of my lungs.
Alright, I'm gonna have you scream about this. My first question, boys. What the hell is sideways surf? How is he doing it sideways? Get an admin.
Okay, so sideways surf is basically just, it's exactly how it sounds. It's just surfing, but instead of facing forward, you're facing 90 degrees to either your left or your right, and you're using W and S to strafe instead of A and D. So it's just surf, but more blind, and it requires more spatial awareness. People spend Louis and I have both spent thousands of hours,
way too many hours.
cumulatively,
Yeah,
trying to get good at it. And it's definitely not for everyone, but
it's essentially like playing the game again, like starting over, completely new, as if you don't know anything again, starting from tier 1 all over. So it's nice. It's like a fresh start, but instead you don't know what the fuck you're doing the entire time.
So,
I actually started sideways surf because I was like at a point where I was bored with surf, but I didn't want to just like quit. So I figured it would be like a nice way to continue doing it, but also like feel like I could have something that was different and that I could improve at.
That's
And I kind
literally
of
why
just
I
like,
started as well.
yeah, I kind of just like fell in love with it from there.
was this on Source or was this on Roblox?
Uh, oh gosh.
Oh no.
It was on Roblox. Probably 6 months before I actually moved to CSS.
Is it different on Roblox, like sideways?
Not mechanically, but obviously you have like Roblox physics are
Oh
very
yeah,
different.
I know you flick a
Um,
tiny bit and you're off to the moon.
I think that if I was going to distill everything we said so far, the major difference, obviously the key scheme changes. Rather than A and D, it's WS. But you no longer have the visual information that allows you to run a map normally. You have to rely both on your practice through save lock and sort of spatial awareness about where you are on the map. Can you tell me what are some of the like added challenges that brings into running sideways versus forward?
Basically
think,
any. Oh, sorry.
oh gosh. Yeah, this is gonna be a whole dynamic throughout this entire talk, isn't it?
Yeah, well, especially because we're both going to have different opinions on like our own.
You go first, because I went first last time.
Oh,
Okay.
you're so nice. Oh, look at that.
For me, I'd say the difference is like one of the massive ones is anything that's like head checks or anything that you can hit your feet off that like you'd crouch over while playing. Those are like the biggest differences to me. So like I know when I first started, I played on Surf Beginner because I started off playing all the tier 1 maps. I was like, okay, I'll do all the beginner maps that you do as like a classic beginner, but instead I'll do it sideways. And I remember, stage 4 of Surf Beginner to go for the
The
little like
little,
hole.
Oh.
the hole you have to crouch
Yeah,
through. Yeah.
I remember when I first started, I was like, "Oh, this will be easy. It's just at the bottom of the ramp. Like, it's no problem. You can go for it fine." But I tried, and every single time I'd hit too high, too low, and it was like you can have good spatial awareness, but that still doesn't teach you like the feel that you get after playing sideways for a long time. So you can just keep throwing yourself at that, but you won't get it unless you've played sideways enough to get like it's like a sixth sense after you've played for long enough. I don't know if you feel that, Crypt.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most difficult things, on top of like head checks and those kind of angles that I find really difficult is timing certain flicks on like really long ramps where you don't know the end, like where the end of the ramp is. So one really good example that I use is there's a ramp on stage 11 of Omnific
Dude, that was the one I
where
was thinking of when you said
there's
blind
like it's
flicks.
just like 4 seconds of straight ramp, and the flick is really tight, and you don't know where exactly it is. So learning how to be aware of like where certain things are, and just like getting a feel for how fast you're going and like where you are in terms of other things. It's a whole dynamic, and it's really you only gain it from playing. Um, but yeah, that's basically it. Just angles and stuff.
And
It's
here's
all about in timing. Like it's a weird feeling that you get. You can't fully
Right.
teach.
gotta try it to be able to understand. Can't just be described in words, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, really.
What are some things? This is a harder question, maybe. What are the things that stay the same? Like, let's say I have really good strafes. Does that transfer over into sideways? Can I use that
Yes,
skill?
I think so. I think you have to obviously learn the difference, but that's something that like you can pretty easily do in sideways if you know how to do it forwards. I think the things that don't change are really just limited to like basic mechanical stuff. Like if you know how to board a ramp and like unit surf at a very basic level, that's stuff that you can do in sideways pretty easily. Where it changes is like when you go into things that are more technical cuts, like precise angles. Like Louis said, like different head checks are difficult. Um, but to a certain extent, surf like in and of itself is transferable across angles. It's just like learning and taking the time to transfer those skills to a different style, I guess.
I would agree with that. I would say overall it's like it's mostly the same in the sense of progression wise as well. So like we probably you and I both probably save lock each map way too much when we don't
Right.
know what we're
Right.
doing. And I pretty much practice maps sideways the same way that I do forwards. Like I'll sometimes just throw myself into it first, see what happens. If I'm stuck at some point or something I keep failing often, I'll save lock it and just see what I'm doing wrong. Especially when it comes to like blind angles or blind, head checks or anything like that. Like I'll just keep practicing it until it becomes second nature, so I don't fail it and run. Because it's nothing worse than when you're super far into a run, especially on sideways, like and failing like that.
Yeah, the other thing that I'd like to add in terms of like being aware of certain things and like save locking and practicing is that I don't know a single good sideways surfer who doesn't play a map forwards before they play it sideways, because you just have
Oh,
to.
I have so much to say about that. If that's okay,
Do you
Repster.
Go.
really?
Okay, I have
Fight,
so
fight,
much.
fight.
No. I have so much in agreement. Because my standard way of knowing if I can do something sideways is if I can do it forwards. Like so,
Same.
usually because I love to grind like stage records or bonuses. My
Same.
favorite thing is to do it forwards first, see what time I can get. I then check the sideways time and I go, oh, like let me see, I then imagine it sideways. I'm like, can I do that as fast? Yeah, probably, because it's like I know I can do it forwards. I now know that I have the ability to surf it that well, that I can now transfer it.
It's the same with me for like short stages and bonuses like that.
Hmm.
Like if I'm just going for like to beat a time, I kind of just like complete it a couple of times forward, and then I look at the time and like compare the two. And if it's like really far off, or not like really far off, but like to a point where I could like whittle a good chunk of time off of it, then I'll go for it.
Hmm. I think you're probably the same as I do, where like we've had times where our sideways times end up better than our forwards on like
Definitely,
on
absolutely.
something. Yeah,
Some things are unironically easier in sideways, I find.
spins.
Spins, yep.
That
Okay,
is
I'm
not
glad you
possible.
agree.
That's not possible. How could it
So
possibly be easier?
I can add on to that with you know how Cryptiss just said that he thinks strafing like you can do pretty much the same. I find my strafing better in sideways than I do forwards. I don't know
There's proof
why.
of it too, because your beefer time in sideways is faster than your forwards time.
I mean that's a straight line, so yeah, there's not much difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, where are you getting? Are you guys on a bhop server?
Yeah, Broaderlands
Borderlands
bonus, I'm
B1?
pretty
Yeah, I
sure.
love that shit, dude. I
That
love that we
and
added that.
that time that you streamed it on Twitch. I
Oh,
remember you.
that was different though. Oh wait, you don't mean the dance pad one, right?
No. You were like on beefer because miners requested it.
Oh, as
and
a
you got
joke,
like,
yeah.
yeah, and then your first attempt just doing it sideways, your time got better.
Yeah, it can be weird.
Have you ever tried? Is there any interest in sideways bhop? Like, do you guys think you could crush some records over there?
I have zero interest in it. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Okay.
have very minimal interest. I like bhop. It's not something that I'm like anywhere near as passionate about as surf. And like also my favorite maps on bhop are all like fly bhop maps, like Unreality or like Caramel Dancin' or like other maps like that.
Oh.
Um, I heard the visceral pain that I just sent through your body.
I don't know many bhop maps, but the ones you just listed there are something else.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I don't know.
oh,
It's
good.
an interesting thought. I just don't think it's something that's like super of interest to me right now.
I don't like it because like when it comes to us surfing sideways, we use many visual indicators, and I find in bhop I have no clue where the next like what would you even call it, like platform,
Platform?
Right. Like
tile,
I can't
kitchen
even
tile,
I
where the
can't
next
even
one is.
like do that shit forwards, and I'm just like I don't like sucking at things. That's
Oh
just the
yeah,
bottom line.
it's starting over again as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I ask, I guess, is from my perspective, things that integrate these communities in any way. Like if there's like sideways rocket jump, which unfortunately definitely isn't possible, or sideways conk or something, like these things
Mhm.
are really good, not just for surf, but for creating community events at all. Like rather than doing nothing on a Saturday night and just grinding an extra map, could we all come together and try bhop? Like surfers try a bhop map. And I'm hearing a lot of interest in these fly maps. I know Dawn is really good at those. Username obviously mentioned them. Would you be
Yeah.
interested maybe in just like an event where we bhop forwards or sideways? Because you could really, like, I swear to God, crush sideways. There's no way it's as competitive as sideways surf.
It could be interesting. I remember a bunch of well, this isn't like something that's happened in the past, but I definitely know a bunch of surf people are getting really into tricks. And
Yeah.
that's something that I could think would be really interesting is like I know Telly and it was either Murky or Draft did Kyoto Sideways.
Yeah,
Whoa.
And
that was insane. I watched some of that.
yeah, I think that something like that would be really fun. But
Weezer and I talked about doing that because him and I did tricks together for a while, and we're both
yeah,
sideways players.
I think
But
that would be really interesting, but it's more just like a preference of game mode than anything else.
Basically, fuck bhop. Agony was better than nuclear, and fuck bhop again. Rigged.
yeah,
Just fuck. All
yeah,
right.
oh
Well,
yeah.
all right. I'll handle the PR
I'm
on
about to
that one.
get
We'll see.
canceled up in here.
Yeah, we're gonna
Holy
get canceled.
I mean,
I love bhop. I really want to see. You know what? I'm projecting. I really like bhop because it's just strafes. It's basically just unit maps. But you know what? Everybody to each their own. You know.
oh no, there's technical bhop maps. If you look at the higher tier stuff, like some of the stuff you find is not
Mhm.
Unity at all. It's you trying to figure out what the hell to do next.
Oh, like the
Yeah,
KZ.
Especially,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, when I did the bhop gauntlet. I don't know if you heard about
Oh
like that
shit!
gauntlet before.
Did you do the one recently that was a race?
Uh, not the
Not the
not the
stream.
tier 6 one, but the it was the one made by like Dream, if you know.
I do know who Dream is. I wish I knew where these things were. There's no central place for you to grab all these events. I wish there was.
Yeah, they had a Google Docs. I can try and find it later if you want to see it. But they had like different people running. I don't remember how many maps it was in total. It was a stupid amount.
20.
Was it 20?
Whoa.
Yeah.
I spent 15 hours straight on that.
Oh my god.
I started, and by the time I finished, it was like 10 a.m. in the morning. Hadn't been awake since the day before. I was
Oh
almost
my
dead.
god.
The last map you had to do was badges, and I was on the final section of that, and I spent about 2 hours on that because I was so fatigued. Like bhop's good fun. But it's so different. Like you can understand like the strafing side of it if you've surfed enough, like how to transfer that, but it's still like starting over. It's so different. Whereas I've found a lot of bhoppers that I've known have moved from bhop to surf pretty easily. They actually
Yeah.
find it easily. Yeah, like Dream, as I said before, Unity, a friend of mine called Pim also moved, and like all of them within the first like month were doing tier 6s.
Many of the like best surfers currently are from like started on bhop, like Marble and Emil and Junichi. I don't know if Junichi actually started on bhop, but like there
He
are a
does
lot of
both.
people who are like really good at both because they're both very they go hand in hand.
But it's weird because like they transfer that over, like doing that forwards. But if you and I, Cryptiss, were to try and do bhop sideways, we wouldn't instantly get as much of
Yeah.
a result.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's like probably two things. I think the first is a content vacuum, just like there is in surf, but maybe more severe, where there really isn't a lot of tutorial content for bhop, especially in that like mid game to high tier range. Like if I wanted to learn how to do those KZ sections where you're whipping your mouse back and forth, there's nothing I can watch to learn how to do that. On the other hand, that might also be because sensitivity in bhop is generally higher, and surfers don't want to go back up in sensitivity for the extra range. But B-hoppers might be more likely to say, oh, okay, I'm going down in sensitivity. I'm just going to be becoming more precise. There's like no way that Emil B-hopped at the sensitivity that he's at right now. And
Right.
those two sort of things in common, like maybe you would have more fun with B-hop. Louis, I understand now that you B-hop a fuck ton for 15 hours straight. But
I did that. You're talking about sense difference. I did that on my surf sense, which
no
is
way.
0.6800.
You
Oh, me
madman.
too. Oh
Dude,
god.
my arm the next day, it
I
did not
mean,
want
we're
to move.
talking about the person who did Tronic on 0.65 800. So
Yeah.
like take from that what you will. I'm the type of person like that just doesn't want to change their sensitivity at all. So I
Whereas
don't
you'll
know.
find
That's an
people that
interesting
change it
dynamic.
every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's viable, I don't know, but I'd love to get some integration with some B-hop folks. Like Miners is obviously a really cool dream, and also like people who are like low-key slept on, like Sev is a really great personality and also an amazing
Mhm.
strafer. And then there are people that I definitely don't even know about who probably stream every day and are really chill, and surfers don't even know about them yet, you know?
There are very many really good B-hoppers. Like both just like strafe and smooth maps and tech maps. Who not a lot of people know about just because they're more just like bhop names, and I feel like people who surf generally just don't really have the energy to care. But like people like Lashadka,
Oh, yeah.
Schnipsku, or
Wolfie.
um,
Wolfie.
Wolfie,
Yeah.
Starly and Half Sideways, like those people just like absolutely blow my mind.
Oh, that reminds me when you were talking about like the Angle community and bhop. I love watching whenever they upload any Angle stuff
Hmm.
to Source Jump.
Yeah.
I don't think the KZ community uploads any Angle. Like I'm subscribed to their YouTube channel. I forget the name of it. It's like, let me search it real quick.
Link that. I'd like to see that.
KZ Climb CSGO is like their main one. I'll link it there for you.
Sick.
I don't think I've ever seen any Angle on there, but the Source Jumps channel, they'll post Angle runs, and that's always fun to watch. Especially when you get into like crazier stuff like W only.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing though is like even in bhop right now, we probably get an Angle upload every like 6 months. Which is, you know, it's not like a
Probably more than
travesty
Surf.
because Angles aren't like super active or anything. It's just like they are really interesting to watch. But you know,
It's if you're not a part of the community, it's a lot harder of an entryway to actually watch it. I find every single time I stream surf, or sometimes in game as well, if someone's specking me, they'll always say I'm getting dizzy. Every single time.
I definitely have that problem. So in my YouTube channel, obviously like I upload like sideways compilations and like whatnot, like things that I find really impressive. But generally people don't want to watch those things just because they don't know what's going on. And that's not gonna like stop me from uploading those things, obviously. Like I like watching them. I know people like watching them. It's just like it's harder to understand, especially if you're new to the game and you don't like know what these things are. So it's like it's an accessibility issue, really.
Yeah, because I remember watching your first record that like blew my mind was watching Shoria when you landed that.
Right,
And not only
yeah.
landed that, but was it a one shot or was it
It
an
was a
almost?
one shot.
Yeah, when you did that, to me, I was just like, oh my god. But if anyone else was to watch it that wasn't a part of the Angle, they'd be like, eh. Like,
We're
they
like,
wouldn't think of
whatever.
it. They wouldn't realize just how insane it is.
Yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate. Like it's the same thing with like you and like Royal or Sinister Evil. Like people just don't give that stuff enough credit because they don't really like comprehend how much effort it takes.
I want to highlight that those high tiers are great. They don't recognize with that. And then they really don't understand what you're doing on some of the low tier maps when you get really good times. Because there they can't just say, oh my god, you did Omnific sideways, that's amazing. Or Hades backwards. Like, are there slept on records that y'all think you have that people should check out in sideways?
I definitely have a couple. I my go-to whenever I think of like my slept on records is Stonework 4.
I was gonna
I
mention
did that
that.
last
Sick.
I did that last year.
Is that slept
And
on? I thought that was praised.
I mean, not to sound self-centered, but I haven't heard like anything about it. But
Ah,
like if it is, then I don't know. But it's definitely like something that I wish more people would recognize in terms of like the people who know me for like Sinsane and Omnific. I also like I want to talk about the fact that I think tiers change when you do sideways because tier is objective to forwards, right? But there are different maps that have kind of like unintentional difficulty blocks that make them a lot harder in sideways. For example, there's a map called Surf Beyond, which in forwards is tier 1, but it has nothing but skybox. So in sideways, it's like a tier
Oh
3.
shit! You have no visual
Um,
indicators.
there are
another
different
good example
things
of that's
like
Ethereal, the exact same as
Ethereal
well.
is ridiculous. Um, but certain things are harder than certain other things in sideways, and I think tier is really just kind of a placeholder because it does change based off of like subjectivity.
And we skipped Louis. Louis, what's a slept on record?
Oh
Gimme,
god.
gimme.
Does it have to be map or
No, no,
actually I
no,
don't know.
no, no. Go ahead, because if it's something that I need to record, I'll get a private soon probably, and I'll be able to record all this shit. You know, I'll figure it out.
Oh, that's difficult. The thing is that I don't know. I just do like I've done so many random things that I can't instantly think of one.
I've got one for you.
You've got one because you already
Oh.
listed the two that I would have thought of, which was Royal and Sinister Evil. But that's probably
Mom.
oh god, that one was I quit that map for a long time. I remember I don't remember when it was that Sikyu was active playing it. That's a slept on player as well.
Siku is very good.
He is like he was my he was like my number one enemy when I first started on KSF for Sideways. He was someone who was insanely good at like stage records and map records, but on stuff that was really short. So he would optimize it to like a ridiculous extent. I remember him and I battled on like Surf Boring, like stage I was like 12 or something, and he got rank like 3 for the forward times. So him and I battled on Surf Mom, and we were back and forth for ages, and he ended up getting a record on it that was just insane. I couldn't beat it at the time. I'm gonna actually check see when it was. It was 2017. He set a time that I just couldn't beat anymore. I walked away from it, and eventually I've came back, and now I'm minus 1.72 on that record, which is
Yeah,
a big
not many
difference.
people give him a lot of credit, but Sikyu is incredibly good at optimizing very short stuff. Um, when I was doing Stonework 4, he had stage 1, and that was the only stage that I like grinded to try and take, and I didn't even get it because it was that good.
He's someone now where if I want a challenge, I'll look for his stages or bonuses and just
Mhm,
try something.
absolutely.
Because even though he set them in 2017 or 2018, they're still difficult.
So to contextualize Louis' mom time, just because I did a little bit of researching,
You're gonna make me
um,
blush.
oh, I mean that's my job, isn't it? Um, Louis' time on mom is rank 76 in forwards out of 3,800 completions. So to give a little bit of backstory, I know Louis was fighting with SitQ on mom with like the not only the individual stage records but also the map record on that. And so it got to a point where you both like whittled it down to like what was an extraordinary time for that time period. Only recently I took some of the stage records, which took me a very long time. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And I took the
I
map
take
record
them
by
back
like
from you as well.
you took some of them back, but I got the map record by like 0.1, and then you beat me by 0.4, which like I can't even like wrap my head around that.
Oh, and that opens a whole bag about how can surfers at like my level, if you imagine like I'm at the edge of late game, I'm still not beating tier 7 maps. What does it mean to optimize? Like getting tops in group 1s for me is still really difficult. But for surfers like y'all, you really know how to optimize. But I want to put that sort of in a backseat. I'm sorry about that. Um, why do you guys look down? Because people have been watching this video for the past what might be like 30 minutes are basically seeing the ground a lot while you surf sideways. What's the reason for that? Like opposed to like just surfing looking sideways to the right if the ramp's on your left.
I think it's mostly just because getting towards the bottom of a ramp without knowing where the actual bottom of the ramp is easier when you're looking down because you can see where the ramp ends.
It's even more guesswork if you're not looking down. If you're looking
Right.
center and you're basically going down based on vibes alone at that point. Like you have no clue when you're gonna get to the bottom of the ramp. And
I wish I could just like put like a screen comparison of like looking up versus looking down.
Yeah.
But it's just so awkward looking forward because you see in front of you instead of like it basically just opens up your field of vision to a bunch of things that you don't really need or want.
Funnily enough, to add on to that, you can actually tell when people are cheating in Angle.Surf if they're not looking down a lot of the time.
Especially in backwards.
Oh yeah. But in sideways, there was a point in time where it was rampant with like every few months there would be like I say rampant for our scene. There would be someone every like few months who would get a replay that would just look a bit weird when you'd watch them, and you'd realize they were playing it forwards,
right?
But then
This
their
one
angle had
person
been changed to sideways, and it meant they weren't looking down anymore. They were looking up like you would when you play forwards. They weren't
this
looking
one
straight down.
person I remember when you had Andromeda record and it was right when I was going for it, and some random just like beat your time by like 0.2, and I like absolutely shit myself looking at it. But then I watched the bot and it just looked very, very off. And like that's how you know, especially if they don't have any other records, that they're cheating.
Oh yeah.
Seems like maybe your game mode is sensitive to a different type of cheating. Just to clarify, it's that it's you look like to the bot and to the server that you're looking down and surfing sideways when in fact you're actually just surfing forwards.
Right.
Not that they're looking down. Usually their like mouse level is still the same if they were looking forwards. If that makes sense. Like it's simply changed. Like that's how you can tell when they're cheating, because they make little micro adjustments that none of us would do when playing sideways, because we don't know what, like we don't see that stuff to adjust for. Whereas these people are like making little adjustments and such that you see while they're looking sideways, and it's like that's not right.
Another good thing to do is look at the pre-strafe, because in pre-strafing you start forwards and then you strafe into sideways. A lot of times when angle surfers or angle cheaters pre-strafe, they just start out sideways, which is basically physically impossible.
I have a whole chat about how sick you redefined sideways pre-strafing.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say, and it makes me so excited.
All right, hit it. Let's go.
Okay, so up until Sikyu joined playing sideways, which was about, I don't know, early 2017, maybe late 2016, everyone when pre-strafing in sideways, so for forward pre-strafing, you usually use like D and W or A and D, and you do like a big wide swing. And in sideways instead, no one had really thought to do that. Everyone just always used a single key. So they would just use W, and they would try and replicate the same, but just with one key, and then strafe back, which kind of worked. It was okay, but you would be down from forward pre-strafes by about, I don't know, like 40, 50 units maybe. And then Sikyu came along. He looked at what all of us were doing, went, why are you losing all this time for no reason? And he started just pre-strafing like you'd usually see someone do forwards, but then he would switch halfway through the jump back to pressing W and S and just continue as sideways now, which just meant that every single record got obliterated after that, like stage record wise, because you could get 40 more units at the start, which is huge.
TLDR,
yes.
Sikyu just like saw the competition and said, no, I'm doing it my own way.
Yeah.
Okay, in the meantime, I don't know what the fuck just happened. I'm pretty sure KSF stripped my VIP that I paid for, and I no longer have VIP, and somebody pinged me about it. So, Untouched, come fight me tomorrow. Let's see. What it
You
sounds
better
like
keep
is
that in the edit.
keep that in the edit.
KSF bashing.
Yep. It
I'm
sounds
just
like
kidding. We love Sam and Untouched.
no. And I'm glad that Sam is back, or at least temporary. He was there for a second. He was there, but now he's gone in the member list. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think he's hiding, or he sometimes hides as well. But also, I contacted Untouched. You're not allowed to get VIP back until you complete one map sideways.
Fuck.
This is true.
Yeah.
What a perfect
And it
transition.
has to be above tier 4.
Above tier 4. No. It's a perfect transition into the question. Let's say I want to get into Sideways Surf. Where should I start? And my questions in this are going to be, and you could just go ham. Are there resources or documents I can use, like a YouTube video? What's a good map to start on? Are there maps that I should avoid? You said spins were actually easier, which was my first inclination was going to be that stick to unit. Perhaps not. And is there what is the process of learning a map in Sideways? How is it different than forwards? And are there tools that I should be using? That's going to be the general gist. But just to start off on, what is a good map for me to play if I want to learn how to Sideways Surf? Leet?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Because I think Leet is just surf at its most basic essence. That's really all it is. It's just like, it's also kind of full of awkward angles and like different things that are weird to see at first. So Leet is like my go-to answer. Utopia is a really good one as well.
Interesting.
Like,
interesting that you choose linears. I would have thought staged for like
stages
them
are
to get a
good too.
break.
I guess I'm just biased towards linears, but I would say personally, the best thing to do when you're getting into it is just choose things that are just surf at its most basic parts, like boarding ramps and flicking at like a really beginner level, and then slowly add things onto that feel uncomfortable at the time, but then like you kind of get the hang of it. So like maybe do a map with like a spin or like a really awkward board in it, or I don't know, just kind of gradually increasing difficulty and widening your horizons in terms of like things that you know how to do goes a long way. And I don't know. When I first started, my goal on CSS at least was to just like beat a tier 6. So the first map that I beat was Lowentra, and shortly after I beat that, that got retiered to tier 5. So I was like, okay, I'll do another tier 6. And afterwards, it's just like you keep doing them and doing them until it becomes like muscle memory. If that makes any sense.
Okay, I don't want to skip ahead. You mentioned a lot of tier 6 completions that I assume would be the first. Is there a surfer that has all those tier 6 world records?
I know that the surfer that's done the most tier 6s is Maggie. That's uncontested.
Yeah.
And how many world records does Maggie have? Go check. It's a trivia.
If I had to guess, I would say
Guess.
like 250 or
250?
225.
I would say 230.
Oh, I think, okay, Cryptiss, final answer. Closest wins.
218.
Oh, no, Louis wins 261 sideways world records.
Damn.
You shouldn't have changed. You had it.
Damn, I said 250 too. Shit.
Exactly.
I knew it was a lot. I didn't realize it was that many.
It is that many. That is
Wow.
like expertise. Y'all are both experts. That's like
That's insane.
crazy,
That's
right?
a quarter of the maps in the game. More than a quarter of the maps.
There's 700 and something.
I think there's 760 or something.
I think it's 50. 749.
Oh God.
Also, could I interject with I think a great beginner map is Surf Rookie is always my go-to when teaching anyone.
That's a good one too.
I think
it's got
that
good progression.
I genuinely think that's like the best one because of progression. Like it's not the greatest map overall, but I think in the sense of like you get to teach them just like straightforward ramps first, then you get to like stage 4, then you've got like a perpendicular ramp, and it's not hard stuck. It's quite forgiving, because I used to say Surf Beginner would be a great one, but that stage 2 gets people stuck so easily that I don't know. I prefer Surf Rookie. It's just like it's such short stages. There's enough time for you to get down really simple basics and just get a hang for it without having to put tons of time into like restarting runs or anything.
And I'm gonna leak, okay? Because we had an idea. Let's say you've made it this far on the podcast. That means you're a real one. If you are a top surfer, oh, okay, and they just started grinding outside my window. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
You can hear. God damn it! Never mind. All right, what's the general process? Oh, I'm gonna skip it. What is the general process of learning a map sideways?
The same as forwards, I would say, until you get to higher level.
I would definitely say my process looks like beating it forward and then save locking it sideways and then doing it sideways. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like trying to do things really quick the first time around. It could just be like familiarizing yourself with different angles, and like really awkward things that you might not know. And that's where save locking comes in handy too. In terms of just like memorizing different positions and stuff. But again, it goes to like this idea of not being able to play a map sideways without having it done forwards first.
It's just simply impossible, right?
I think it is, personally.
I've done a few maps before without like doing them forwards first, but it's still the same where like I've at least watched the bot, so I know what the route is.
Yeah.
Like if I have the chance to memorize it, then that's it. Like I can hopefully just save lock it and just keep trying, like trial and error until it's in my muscle memory.
So they stopped the grinding. Okay, listen, the leak. If you
they stopped the grinding, but we haven't.
We never stopped. We never stopped grinding. If you were a top surfer, we have a little idea. No fucking way. Okay,
that's a feels bad man moment.
Okay, if you are a top surfer, we want to have an event where we teach two top surfers that have never played sideways before, and we're gonna teach them for an hour in a coaching session or however long.
Any
and then
angle as well.
Ooh, backwards possibilities, half sideways possibilities, boys. And then have a event where you race to see who is the fastest. This could be just a 2-hour event with 2 coaching sessions and then a thing at the end. We could do it where you practice for weeks, however y'all want to do it. A little bit of exposure for the Angle.Surf, a little bit of exposure for you. If you're a top surfer who wants to get more clicks on your YouTube or your Twitch, please hit us up, see if there's something you would want to do. So, on this like topic of sideways, this is my last technical question. How does sideways get authenticated by KSF? We talked a little bit about cheating, but like let's say there's a part I can't do forward. Can I real quick like switch to forward and then go back to sideways?
No.
Why not?
Because in sideways, if you press A or D, your timer gets set back to normal.
So KSF does it unique where like all CSGO servers you play on, you have to specifically change your mode.
Right.
You have to type like mode or style and then change to sideways. But KSF is a completely different system where you don't have to change anything. As long as you start surfing that mode, the timer automatically changes to it, which I know works for the most part, but doesn't always work for half sideways, I believe.
This is not a fun thing. Like, it's not a fun mechanic. I've had runs specifically on Surf Shoria at the end of stage 4 where you have to do an S drop into the final stage. And I've had multiple times where I've had fast runs, and instead of pressing S, I like press S and A at the same time on accident, and my timer gets reset.
Yeah.
So that's stuff that you have to be careful about. But basically, it's just to prevent like doing like the possibility of doing normal and forward or in sideways, if I can speak English.
It also completely changes how you have to S stop in runs.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
look
turn
forwards and do it.
Yeah, you look forwards without pressing a single key, and then you can press S, because like while you're surfing, you can't just press A to completely, or D, like the opposite of where you're going, to completely stop movement, or else you've set your timer back to normal.
Popular mechanic in sideways that it seems to blow people's minds, but it's just kind of something you have to do, is if there is a long like hallway or space in front of you, just flick your mouse to the right and look forward for a second. Like Maggie does it multiple times on like Valpect or Sensane, I do it on Omnific a bunch of times.
It's a really quick
Louis
check.
does it on like all of his runs.
I do it on
Like
I do it on every map to the point that Maggie specs me and gets annoyed. He doesn't like that. I like to check forwards so often. Like if there's any gap, I'll quickly look because for me it's a quick way to see if I'm aligned with where the next ramp's going to be, so I don't slam into the back of the ramp or anything.
Mhm.
Get as much information as you possibly can, because sideways is really mostly harder because of the limits on information that you have.
Mhm.
It's definitely also like I mentioned Beyond before, because Beyond is all skybox. It's how many things in the map that you can keep track of in order to know like where you are. Um, trying to think of an example. Um, obviously, Beyond is tough because you can't see anything. So obviously, it's just like
Any
trusting yourself to board ramps. But like I think of maps like I guess like Stonework 4, just because it's like I default to it because I've done it, but it's got like so many specific like architectural elements almost and like different objects in the map to where I can like pick out a certain thing as a reference point and I could be like, oh, okay, I'm this high or this low, or I need to board this ramp this certain way.
That's a really good
Yeah,
explanation. I really understand what
the
you're saying
amount
now.
of things in a map, I think, plays a part in
I
how.
love mappers that just dump random things into the map because I now have so many reference points
Yes.
compared to if you're someone who only uses like the skybox as the background, I will look at your map and go, I am not doing this at an angle. And I will walk away.
I still love you, Granis.
Oh,
Or anything with like flat textures as well. I don't know if like I'm trying to think of one like Exact, I guess would maybe be a
Mhm.
good example. Like if it takes away your depth perception as well, when you're doing it at an angle, you're gonna have no clue like where you're at. And that's where sometimes you have to very quickly flick forward, look, be like, okay, and then you turn back and start pressing your keys again.
Another thing that's very not only important but also very controversial with Sideways is the need for paint, because you need to pay for VIP to use it. Paint is really useful if you need to know like where a ramp ends or begins, or like where to go on a specific ramp. For example, most people that I know, and myself included, paint a line through the Syria ramp on Sinsane to
Same.
know where to go on that ramp, just so they don't hit the upper or lower walls. If you don't have VIP, it's not possible to do that. Um,
I actually
so it's
changed the route that I use on Syria because I didn't have paint anymore.
yeah,
I used to surf face first, and I have to do back now.
it's a contentious issue
but I don't
because
know.
it's hard to
Because
not do it without
you'll
paint.
find people that will paint like almost every ramp in a map if they can. I used to be bad for it until I got like a better understanding of the game mode.
I was
But
bad for it as well. I did that on Hades. I
yeah,
was not proud of
I
myself.
think it's a tool that people like to use just to get their way into it a bit easier rather than handicapping themselves. But obviously the controversy comes in the fact that for KSF it's pay to
Mhm.
win.
I don't think you can have paint be, unless it's client side and other people don't see it. I don't think, because like it's going to be penises and swastikas and slurs on all the walls every single day. Like,
Right.
and there's
And I
no way to even freaking
understand that.
moderate it.
Yeah,
What do you'd have to either ban or just like strip paint privileges, and I don't.
I
But
think nowadays that's no longer as much of a problem in the community,
yeah,
but
definitely.
it is a worry,
I
and I can
definitely wish
understand.
that there was some way to like give people who don't have VIP like local paint so that they can see their paint but other people can't. That could be a really interesting
I mean,
idea.
But you know what? It's a reason to shout out. GFL is like my favorite CS:GO server, although there's a lot of good ones. Surf Heaven is also really good. GFL was
big
able
up
to
Surf
create.
Heaven.
Yeah, Surf Heaven's really good, and I like that they're authentic. Like that 64 tick, it's even harder, and it makes completions like Goliath B4, Facility B4 more. I don't even know if Facility's been done, right? But Axiom has for sure. I think it was Liquidator doing a bunch of them. But GFL has local paint. That's because Infra is
Mhm.
awesome.
I think Lemix recently did corruption on 64 tick on KSF Go. That shit is insane.
I want to first of all applaud y'all, because this podcast so far has run itself. Also, for the viewers, want to let them know, Lemix, this sucks, but it lets me talk about Angle.Surf. I got sucked into the Perspective 2 mapping contest, the results, and so I couldn't put the Lemix interview out. And Louis, you were able to judge the maps from this contest, right?
Oh yeah.
What did you think about these maps in Sideways? I want to like maybe we just focus on Nuclear and Agony. Are these maps you'd consider running in Sideways? And then the same question to Cryptiss.
I'd say those two would probably be the main ones. Mostly because Destruction suffers, like stage 1 instantly suffers from the same problem of there's no ground to understand where you're going. But Nuclear is probably perfect for Sideways, I would imagine. It has all the things that, like, at least on the ground, to tell where you're going to be going. Same with
Nuclear's already got a pretty decent time on it Sideways too.
Does it? I haven't
Yeah,
looked
by
at any of
math.
the angle. Nice, big up math.
Yes.
Newer, right? From Brazil?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's
Probably
been
most improved Sideways surfer, like
yeah.
easily.
He's like what rank? I want to say 5
5.
or
Yeah,
6.
5. Big
I
ups.
think he's catching up to me. He's almost rank 4.
Oh, he's ranked 6. Double check.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I
He's,
was
no,
wrong.
he is 1,300 points away from passing Deadeye. So that's basically he is going to overtake very soon.
Did either of you coach him?
No, I think he's
No.
like pretty organic, I guess, in his kind of comeuppance.
Yeah, I don't know much of his history.
I don't know anyone who's taught him anything. I think he just like played it a shit ton and got really good, which is cool.
Which is honestly tough nowadays as well, because I don't know about for you, Cryptiss. When I started, there was a lot of other people around to help when when I was getting into Sideways. So it always meant I had people watching me, like Fluxy or Maggie, watching, interested, helping me out. Which I would do the same for math if I was around, but like I'm
Yeah.
mostly focusing on forwards nowadays.
And I'm definitely the same. Like if people like ask me, like I'll throw a couple of tips your way. You know what I mean? But to answer the question, because I forgot that was a thing.
Same.
I agree. Nuclear would be the one that I would run. I actually kind of wanted to run it. Agony has a couple of specific parts that I feel like would kind of be aids. For example, that
Can I
like
guess?
one really tiny hole on CP1.
Yeah. Wait, is the other one the long spin? Maybe like where you go tight around the pillar.
Actually, that's fine.
No,
That's fine?
That stuff is easy
that
in
reminds
Sideways,
that reminds
especially if
me
you're facing the wall.
that would remind me of Cryptiss doing guitar high. However
Yeah,
you'd say
Guitar
it.
High is a good example of that.
Like you've done that sort of thing before.
Yeah,
It's towards the end, I would say, is blind. Especially if you were to do the
oh,
skip at
right.
the end, if you were
The
to do the
skip.
flick up through the ceiling.
You've got to
at
like
the-
kind of look up through the ceiling.
Yeah, that would be difficult sideways as well.
But Nuclear would be perfect because it's like just simple enough to where it's like straightforward and you know where you're going, but it's not like cake. You know what I mean?
Curve ramps are like a difficult one,
Oh.
especially like because you lose a little bit
Curved
of like
ramps in
idea where you
Sideways is
are.
like my version of porn. Like seeing a good run in Surf Cyberwave Sideways is like genuinely so nice.
It is very smooth when you hit it right.
The reason why I mentioned this is because of another question I had. Is there a Discord group that I can join if I want to learn about Sideways Surf or just meet people who do Angle.Surf in general?
It
Well, you
would be
just
the
said it.
Angle.Surf Discord.
Angle.Surf. Shout out to them.
Big ups to
my
Vyda.
best friend ever. But yeah, it's a Discord that has a bunch of people who play different angles, not just Sideways, but really every angle, and also like things like Bork Chops is in there. He plays W only.
Workshops
But
is my favorite like W only player because he did surf for a little while, same as like it goes back to the topic I said earlier of bhoppers moving over to like surf. He did W only on Horizon Surf, if you've heard of that before. It's an 85 tick CSGO server. He did W only there. The hardest map he did was a tier 5, which was Surf Gurus.
yeah,
W only. He completed a tier 5 with 1 key, which I think is insane.
But yeah, the Angle.Surf Discord is a really good place for resources and like people who are willing to help you in order to help you improve. Me and Louie included, obviously. Like I'll throw out tips, like I said earlier. I'm sure Louie would. Unfortunately, there's not very like many overt resources in terms of like how to learn and like where to start. And I've like contemplated making like a somewhat kind of tutorial series And I think that could be really useful, but
there's a lot of self discovery on it, because it's not something that you can just fully teach. It's also something you've got to just learn yourself as well with some parts of it.
Mhm.
Well, okay, I just sorry. And the reason why I want to interject is because I think this would be such a cool idea for you to make just one tutorial video with Sideways. Like, seriously, one little 5-minute, here's all the things that you might want to pick up and make this easier. Like, one thing I would think of for Sideways is you really want to board flush with the ramp, and you want to look for boards where it's directly in front of you. Like, you don't want to be, damn, I really don't know. And I think that would be such a cool thing. And if you want to do that,
Dude,
definitely
he's already
hit me
got
up.
the knowledge. He's future rank 1 already.
Exactly. I can't wait to see you in the training for our
Right?
leak competition.
Oh, God. I want to give another shout out to Vyda, who you mentioned. Vyda put up with my shit for literally 4 days in a row of me sending him the video draft over and over and asking a million questions. Really cared about the authenticity, the security of the contest. I'm sure from Louis' side, Louis obviously can't give you inside information about how it went down, but it was legit, and they really cared about not only being fair, but about being transparent with y'all, and I hope that we did a good job.
I'd also like to say for the first Perspective Sideways tournament that Vyda has put hundreds and hundreds of hours into making sure that every UI is perfect, every caster is doing the thing that they need to do, every person is showing up, the stream quality is good, the everything is streamlined. He's put so much time and effort, and also a crap ton of his own money into things like that. And it's something that he cares about a lot. So I don't really have enough kind words for that kind of stuff. He's just done an incredible amount for the Angle.Surf community.
I agree. I don't know if you've seen any of the Perspective tournament before, Repster.
I saw the first one. I think it was Sideways.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, I believe that's the only one that's happened so far. But the graphics, the UI, the overall production value that Vyda made for that was insane.
It was
for his
fantastic.
first tournament. It was you'd watch it and you'd think that was his 10th time hosting a tournament, but it was his first one. He brought in quite a few of us Sideways surfers. Math included actually in that one. I remember he was in it.
I'll plug the final match, or all of the matches actually, that were uploaded to YouTube for the VODs.
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff.
an entire VOD selection of all the matches.
But I will say, not to toot my own or Louis' horn or anything, but the final match was exhilarating. Not even just from a player's standpoint.
I loved it. That was such a good
It was so much fun. And it was so close, honestly.
It was a best of 5, and we went to the final map.
And
I don't know if we should say who won in case anyone.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Watch it.
No
Yeah,
Go watch it.
But
but it was a good experience. I mean, I guess you already know who was in the finals if we just said that, though.
yeah.
So now you know that, but people are not going to watch 16 hours. This final, go watch. You have no reason not to watch it. You watched all the way to this point in the podcast, and please go follow Louie and Cryptiss on their socials. Please check them out.
Actually, I've heard people before saying that the GFL tourney that just happened. People going there was WRs that happened in that one. Well, there was WRs in this Sideways one. Okay, we did it first. We did it before that.
We were the OGs. I would like to say that much.
Oh, but I cannot forget, and I know this is off topic, that Levi in the last tournament blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Especially it was Chateau, because Chateau is a map that I've struggled so hard just to try to hit that skip. And people,
didn't he do it 3 times?
He
he beat it multiple times. I remember us casters were sitting there not knowing just what to do anymore.
Not to spoil too much, but one of the maps in the finals was Cyberwave, and that was also a 3 WR match.
That was a fun one. That was a very fun one. I do think the Levi one predates the Angle.Surf tourney. I was mostly joking about us doing it first. Yeah.
Oh,
Even if so, I believe the MBN beating Surf Subway WR in the previous Surf Sub tourney, before that as well. The very first one, that also is the earliest I can think of.
There are other great moments from tournaments that could be made into whole videos. I'm thinking the alien invasion shit with TrukTruk.
That's a classic. No one's touched on that.
We predated Levi. Levi's world records were set on July 11th,
And when were we?
June 27th.
He's pulling out the
too
numbers.
good.
You
That's
got
the
it.
that's the sideways power right there.
Yeah.
I miss TrukTruk. TrukTruk was good. So far it's gone. This is the last little topic I have, and then we could just open it up and talk about whatever. We could also touch back on optimization. Louis, you are a very talented streamer. Cryptiss has also streamed, but Louis, you like seriously with the fucking the Dance Dance Revolution, playing with the controller. What? First of all, do you have other ideas in the pipeline you want to do like that? What
Oh yeah.
behooved you to do stupid shit like that and put yourself through it? Can you tell me a little about your experience on Twitch?
Yeah, so yeah, as you said, I stream a lot. I've been doing it for 3 years now. About like I think July 2019ish was about the first time I started streaming. Originally I was doing like all my forwards records and everything on there. I don't really touch upon sideways on there because, as we've said before, yeah, it's hard to watch. So I don't subject people to that as much. But at one point while playing, this was during lockdown in 2020. I bought a VR headset and I started playing just different games on that. And at one point in between streaming, I just thought to myself, well, why don't I try like surfing in this? You know, like take a look at it. And there was a VR mod so there's nothing for Counter-Strike, there's nothing for TF2, but there is for Gary's mod.
Oh.
So there's a Steam community like mod. I think it's like a VR Gary's mod one that I downloaded. I set up a little local server and stuck on my VR headset, and it worked. But it is also slightly scuffed. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I just couldn't figure out how to get Gary's mod to work properly for Surf, especially in VR, but the gravity was a bit weird. The perspective was definitely a bit weird too. I'll link you my...
You got the VOD?
Well, I have 2 VODs actually. I've done it twice. That's the original one. Both of them, you get to watch me in the corner just flail about, not really knowing what's going on. But I can assure you, it was even more nauseating playing. I started playing and I had people recommending me maps. It was really good like time because everyone was like, try this one, try this one. So I did all different maps. I did like beginner maps. I had people try and get me to do harder ones. I think I ended up spending like a couple hours on Omnific to see how far I could get.
Oh my god.
I got to stage 6, I think. You know, the one where like it keeps looping around on itself until you like flick up.
Yes.
And like, yeah, I got to that one. And I think that was my breaking point because at that point that stream was 4 hours long. Not a fun one to do after that long, but it was very interesting to get to do it from that perspective.
Did you crom it?
I was actually okay because I've spent a lot of time in VR playing other games. So for me, it wasn't too bad because I kept having people coming into the chat going, "How are you doing this? How are you not sick?" For me, it was fine. By the end of it, I just needed to break. I just needed like the headset off. You know, I guess a bit sweaty, especially moving around a lot. So after I did that stream, I was then thinking to myself, what can I do to one-up this? What can be next? Unfortunately, one-upping VR surf is a bit hard. So I just searched around and I decided I'd wanted to try surfing normally, but my movement keys would be with a DDR pad instead. Because why not play with your feet instead?
That was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, so I'll link you. I still have the VOD for that too. I started playing with that. I set up a camera showing off like that I was legitimately using all of my keys with just my feet. Yeah, I even started off with the map that I recommended for learning sideways on Rookie because I was like, okay, I'm going to start again. I may as well start on the map that I think is the best to start on.
One thing that I remember you doing that I'm sure you remember, but like you turning off your monitor and then having people join your Discord call and describe to you where you are in Surf Beginner and have you try and pass the stages.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So you just basically surfed with your monitor off, but people were telling you where to go in real time.
That's such a good idea. Yeah. I had that idea. No.
I'm sorry. I've already done a stream of that.
I don't have So good.
I could do it again. It was good fun. It was exactly as Cryptiss said. I had people join my Discord server, go into the main chat channel, and I'd pull them in, and I made sure to like I think I showed with my camera that I was not looking at the screen, and all I could see was my OBS chat, and I would get whoever was on voice call with me to describe what things to do, and people started getting creative. People started trying to find ways to cheese the stages. So like I remember on stage 2 of beginner, people were trying to get me to climb to the top of the ramp in front of you, but the problem was that because I couldn't see the screen, my mouse wasn't completely straight. So I'd start veering off to the side a little bit until I would fall off. But if I can, I might not be able to find it now, but I'll try and find it after we finish talking. There's a clip of me doing that, but I start sliding off the side, but then I actually land on the end platform after going off. So I did the stage sideways blind.
There. Oh, look left. Oh god, we're sliding.
I'm about to do it sideways.
Oh, we did it! Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Yo, look right.
Wait, am I?
Right?
Wait, did I just do it sideways?
Yeah, you just did it sideways. Look right.
Fucking
I
way!
can't fucking
No
believe
fucking way! Okay. Which goes back into our Angle chat that apparently I can sideways surf without even seeing.
See, everything comes full circle.
Exactly. That was a good one too. I completely forgot I'd done that. But in terms of like more things that I want to do, I really wanted to do it with a wheel. You know, those like racing sim wheels. I would love to do that because I've seen a video. I'm not gonna lie, most of my inspiration for like what things to use, I used. Do you know the YouTuber Anomaly?
Yes. Oh wow.
He did a YouTube video series a long time ago about playing CS:GO with just wacky things. So like I think like the wheel was one of them. I can't even remember what other stuff he used, but I've seen people use like bongo drums as well. You know, like the Donkey Kong ones, and just like all that sort of weird whack stuff. I want to give a shot. The only problem is that just a lot of them. I don't want to pay the the money for that for a one-time use and never go back to it again.
Now I don't want to leave out Cryptiss, because Cryptiss has one of the most, I would say, the best title games for sideways surf or forward surf. We've got I'm Gonna Scream. Title games. I'm Gonna Scream on Fornak's sideways world record. What happened? Why did you say you were gonna scream?
Oh, yeah, it was just that specific run was the fastest run that I've ever had on that map. And the very end ramp on that map is very blind and really easy to overflick the end. And not only that, but the end platform on that map is on the ground. Basically, I lost probably 1 second from overflicking the end.
Oh no.
And I just like remember the feeling of dread that I got when I looked forward. I was so angry.
That's even worse when you look forward and there's nothing you can do either.
Yep.
You also have 666 bonus 6 sideways. Not
Yes.
easy.
Yeah, that was something that I have been trying on and off for weeks. And not like in playtime, obviously, but I just got to a point where I really just buckled down and like started milking all of the units from every ramp that I possibly could, and I ended up getting a completion, which really freaked me out. Like, one of my favorite things in Surf sideways to do is like really hard bonuses. And I'm sure Louis would know this because I send him like every one that I get. But
I see a YouTube link in my DMs and I'm like, what has he done this time?
That's great.
So I've done recently, I've got to pull up like the extra bonus tiers list just because I'm like curious now. I've done Salient bonus 2. I've done Not So Zen bonus 3. I've done Neoteric bonus 1. Let's see here. There's more, I promise you.
No, I'm saying, you know what?
I've done Ha bonus 6. I don't know. It's just something really satisfying about hitting a really unit tight sideways run that's so satisfying to me.
It's like you're distilling the most optimal, and obviously nobody's doing fucking facility sideways yet. Where maybe like Matthew will get there, right?
That's another one I did was facility bonus 1.
When bonus 4?
Never.
Oh,
I think
I
the
was
biggest
shocked enough when Nate did it half sideways and then Danger did it.
the
Please.
biggest meme you'll find about people like saying hard things sideways is always Goliath. I don't know if you see that as well, Crypt.
Hmm.
Everyone always goes when Goliath sideways.
Yeah.
That's the classic.
I get to a point where like I'll do like a hard map forwards, and then people are like, "Okay, so when are you gonna do this sideways?" It's like, come on.
There's limitations. We can't do it just because, like, although we said that if we can do it forwards, we usually can do it sideways. There's a limitation when it gets to the harder stuff.
When you're missing reference points, when something is very technically difficult, what do you think, if like generally, what's harder in sideways? Unit stuff that's crazy or tech stuff that's crazy?
Unit.
Yeah.
Just because the unit, you need that flush board that is a precise thing, and then spins, you said, are easier in sideways than like
It's harder to tell where you're losing units and time on sideways compared to if you were doing like tech, where all you have to do is get through it. Like, you know what's next. It's the struggle isn't how many units you need. The struggle is just getting past the section that's tough.
Mhm. I will say, for a really long time, and not a lot of people know this, but I was gunning to beat 666 sideways,
Whoa.
and I would solidly say that's harder than Omnific.
what?
Because the end flick and the angle on 666 stage 6, and also just like the amount of really precise boards that you need to have, and like the units needed for like different angles, it's just absurd.
Well, I mean, also you can also prove that with the fact that Omnific has 2 completes and 666 still
666
doesn't
has
have
none.
any. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to backtrack a little bit. We mentioned Nate with the facility half sideways. Sounds like
Mhm.
some of these harder bonuses, like the reason they're not going to get completed sideways is because they're not that fun to do sideways. Unit surf is very repetitive. It's about being very precise. Before we talk about Nate, are there any runs that you guys are thinking about or looking at that you want to do sideways that could be really cool?
I know one.
Gosh.
I know what I want to do.
Do
Yes.
tell.
Insane bonus.
No.
I definitely see you doing that. I
So-
actually wanted to do
Nightmare?
that too.
I've done I've done Nightmare sideways.
Oh,
Nightmare
shit.
bonus sideways on 85 tick with CS:GO models.
Ew.
So if I can do it with CS:GO models, I can do it
Oh.
here. I haven't done it on KSF, but funnily enough, a good friend of mine, Silverbeat. Yep, big up Silverbeat. He is the #1 like Angle Nightmare bonus fan. He did it sideways on 66 tick, and there was a point in time. There was a point in time where on his stream he was practicing it backwards to land as well.
He did it backwards on 100 tick, I think.
Oh, there might be a clip of that.
That is
actually.
insane. Absolutely insane.
So I know that I can do. I've done Insane as well, sideways on CS:GO again. I've never done it on Source, but there was a point in time where I was learning it on stream. I think it got requested actually.
Yeah, it got requested by Red. I remember that.
Yeah,
It was before I played it.
So I know that I would love to do that. It's a time commitment, and I don't know how like much I want to put into them.
Funnily enough, I've actually toyed with the idea of doing Insane bonus sideways as well, but it's something that like obviously Nightmare bonus is fucking awful.
Yeah.
Especially in sideways where it's like above you. But I don't know if I have anything that's like that, like, what's the word? Like for
Provocative.
the longest time, I've been wanting to do salient sideways, which is something that's tier 5, but in sideways just like completely ups the ante because there are different like angles and boards that are really difficult. But
You've got like on stage 1 the inverse curve. Like it's
yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, that's tough. And like there's so many snipes just on stage 1. I almost feel like stage 3, if I'm remembering correctly, is that where like one of the ramps is like you're facing the
Stage
side.
3 on salient is the only one that has ever been done sideways.
Really? Am I big brain Repster?
Yeah, Maggie did it a very long time ago. But stage 1 is definitely harder than stage 4. Because stage 4 is just like unit stuff, and I'm good at unit stuff, but stage 1 has so many more angles. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
they're like, I'm trying to think of things that I wanted to do. I wanted to get a Highlands no fail for a really long time. I think that would be fun to grind out.
That last stage is brutal on that, though.
Yeah, the head checks.
Yeah.
Highlands no fail, and also Is Dead no fail I was going for.
Ooh.
Is that
But-
was one I was going to ask you about. Can you tell me, like, that's pretty severe unit surf too?
Yeah. I don't know. It's for me, the thing about unit surf is that once I do it forwards, like the units just kind of come naturally to me in sideways. And that's not meant to sound like a brag. That's just kind of how it is. And it's not like that with tech surf. But I kind of just like save block through it, and it didn't take me very long to beat it. But Is Dead even forward is very tricky to no fail. So I think if I have no fail Is Dead, it would be ridiculous.
And you can do it. I believe that.
Oh, well, only if I get back into surf.
Yeah, that's a whole different struggle.
Yeah, I was going to ask about this, and I'd love to hear. Where are you guys with surf? Tux is done, Levi's done. Like, lots of people are feeling very burnt right now. I feel like part of my goal is to create like interesting events and content for top surfers or people just that have surfed for a long time to come back and do. And one thing I will leak, but will not get into the podcast, is like a surf. Ooh, would you guys be interested in participating in a?
My stance with surf right now, here's the thing. I am in college. I work 32 hours a week and I take a course. And I've just gotten to the point where I've got like other hobbies that I'm more consumed with right now. But I definitely, like, once I get free time, will get back into surf. And I've been surfing off and on for a little bit, not like seriously. But I will come back. I definitely will. Like, lately for me, it's just been like longboarding and Dance Dance Revolution and like school. And that's it. Like, I don't
Hey,
have the energy for much else.
You can transfer that DDR skills into surf if you do what I did before.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
started
my
when are you
God.
gonna fly to America and we can play DDR together?
Oh hell yeah! Let's do it sideways.
I'll buy the plane ticket.
Fly over here sideways.
For me, I'm on the opposite. I took sort of a little break, like for the past few months, on and off, and I'm actually like more back just now than I have been for a while. I've been like setting my own challenges. I just completed Surf Deity, the tier 8. Yeah, which I was very happy with. Before that, I did Insane bonus forwards as well. So I've been like back into it doing that. But for the past couple of months, I've been on and off with Skill Surf. I've actually been doing more Trick Surf than anything. The
Trick Surf
community
is making a rise.
yeah, unfortunately it's still whitelist just now, so not like everyone can get in, but that's recently I've been playing a lot of the map Ski 2 and Park Color recently got added, so I've been like playing on those
Shout
as
out
much
to
as I
Frag, by
can.
the way.
Yeah, so that server's been good. There's been a lot of different top surfers that I've been playing on there.
Do you know? Maybe this is not to be talked about. Do you know why it's been in whitelist for so long? Why it hasn't been opened up?
I have no clue personally.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was really interested in that.
I don't ask questions. I just go on, play some tricks, and then like trick surf, and then leave. So
Okay, this is where, and I'll have a little surprise. This is where I'm going to ask y'all. Do you have any questions for me? Is there anything that you want to know about my channel and what I'm doing? Or are there suggestions, things you've noticed, criticisms? This is where I'm going to just open it up. What do you guys have? Like, questions, comments, concerns?
I have a question. When are we gonna see a sideways world record from Repster?
maybe
I'll
in the
open
next
up a
15
Fiverr.
minutes. Maybe very soon. We'll see.
trying to think. I know in so I absolutely love like everything they do on your channel, considering that Surf had like a massive content, just like there was nothing content wise similar to what you've been doing. I was seeing in like I think it was the last video you posted. Was it like the top hardest? Like it was an overall like top hardest CS:GO maps.
Yeah, and there's a
one
lot
or
of things wrong
something.
with that, and I was getting
Oh, not
comments
the
about it.
not the corrections wise. There was people in the comments saying that they had no clue what was going on. I think because I feel like it's a difficult one though, and trying to like make it as accessible as possible while also not boring for those who are in the scene. That's a really difficult balance.
I didn't even think. You know what? But I'm pretty sure somebody who like Disres was like, I've seen all of these, I want my money back, which is funny. I think that they would have been willing if I had timestamps. It was to just like click through, you know, and that would have been all right. It would have hurt retention, and it turns out from the algorithm standpoint, retention basically for all of your clickers is really important. So you're right. I didn't really consider the spread. They were really concerned with the pacing of the video. So future videos that are like for y'all that are, you know, and nobody who doesn't surf is this far into the video. So it doesn't really matter, but...
But I think for those general ones, like, it's better to spread them out and, like, pace them as much as possible to, like, get a full scope of things rather than leaving out any... Yeah, rather than having any, like, notion of, like, okay, they already know what I'm talking about. Like, just treating everyone as babies.
I'm not the type of person to ask for YouTube tips, because I kind of just, like, do whatever I want. And not care if people watch, honestly.
And I mean, that's fun. That's what you should be doing if you're not trying to like do the YouTube gambit like I am, right? And also, every video you put out, even those short ones, have the potential to blow up. And then you can just like put your Twitch link in the description, and maybe you'll get like 50 extra viewers on your Twitch stream, you know? But you really never know which videos are gonna... Like, some of Disres's videos have gotten like over 4K views, like more than some of mine. And they're just like his runs that he rendered and look really good and are impressive, but, you know, and then the effort is still there. But we have I don't think he knows why they blew up. One of them was like some long T6 linears got like 2.7K views, you know?
The weird thing is that the YouTube algorithm does, like, just throw some random people's videos out there.
Yeah.
Like, I know that why so many people know about TrukTruk's tournaments is because his one got thrown into the algorithm.
Right.
One of his Surf's Up ones, I think it was Green Void versus Saxton. That one has 206,000 views.
Yeah.
Alien Invasion with Free Tibet in the background. Okay, it was classic. That's why it got fucking blown up. That was such a good video.
Deserved it.
One of the other videos has 140k too, but it's like those ones just for some reason just blew up out of nowhere. And
his fast completion blew up, and that's interesting too, because I don't know if people would consider that to be so hard of a map nowadays. But for anybody, obviously like in the top like 100 surfers during that time period, if he beat it, right? And that was like a couple years ago. That was like 2018. So it's not like right now where there's like a lot.
Well, his even his Omnific no fail has 100,000 too. Like, I don't know what his videos, but he just has a way of getting them to blow up, which is like, it's just luck of the draw a lot of the time, unless you try and maximize clickbaiting, like I've seen you do a few times, Repster.
I'll tell you why TrukTruk has so many viewers.
Go.
It's because he's cute.
True.
That works too.
It's also because he's got a brand. He came from TF2, right? And I think that he understands these things in a way that I don't think I do. I'd love to talk to him at some point. I don't know whether he gives a shit about video games anymore. I know that he was actually working on a podcast like professionally at some point, but boys, now we're going to have a very special segment. I see Cryptiss is muted. I hope he's still here. Would you guys like to teach me sideways surf? Real quick, 15 minutes. Now, actually, I have a disclaimer about this, even if we don't, but I'm sorry, real quick. For some reason, like high hertz, I got a new high hertz monitor and it's been making me nauseous. Am I going to vomit while we're sideways surfing right now?
You've probably chose like the worst combo to have if you're doing that. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, well, I've got my trash can right here. Are we willing to get onto a source server, private or non-private, and do just literally like a quick intro? So if somebody's interested in sideways surf, they can check this out and see what it might be like for the first time. I've literally never sideways surfed before in my life.
I'm sorry, I'm muted for a second, but I would be down.
All right, we're gonna cap it because I know that we have been going probably for the longest time. I also want to congratulate you guys on an awesome interview. Seriously, thank you for.
Are you congratulating us? Congratulate yourself.
No,
yeah, thank you for getting it together. We're lazy. We wouldn't do anything like this on our own, like volition. Like
I'm revving up. Thank you, boys. Okay. I didn't tell you before, so I'm hoping this is gonna not eat shit.
This is out of nowhere, but it's fine.
Let me see. All right, I am Momentum Mod. I believe it is capturing it. All this gets edited out. Leak your shit. Talk your shit right now. Oh, they added 4 new ones. And I really do think Nate is incredible just because he showed he was willing to put in the time into corruption to do it half sideways, you know? Kind of like, you know, Lemix doing corruption on 64 tick. I guess it's like, oh, maybe Levi could do it too, right? Probably he could. It's like he did like that. part of our game is how much time are you willing to invest in this map, not knowing whether or not you're going to be able to do it, you know? And Nate showed I'm willing to show I could do these things in half sideways.
Nate is just an anomaly. He's really honestly insane.
I mean, the fact he's done stuff half sideways that people could never do forwards, like.
Oh yeah, he's intimidating the fuck out of me because now I know he's a cracked individual and he's making YouTube content. I should have never told him to do that. I'm gonna lose my spot, boys. It's not good. He put like 2 videos out in a week. I didn't think. Lots of people hit me up, no shade, just like, oh, I have a video idea. Should I do this? Nate and Plurple is a close friend of Nate's and they work together. They were like, hey, we're gonna do this. You want to check it out? Boom. I want to say 2 days later they had a video out already. Sick stuff.
That's
I'm really
crazy.
Yeah, I love the initiative. I seriously and then all the other people hitting me up trying to make videos, like, good on you too. I whatever y'all want me to do, if you want me to just review the script, whatever it is. How do we do it on the Steam side? Are we any closer to a sideways world record than we were a couple minutes ago? How are we doing?
I'm fine. I just sent off a friend request.
Perfect.
Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention, but I will right now.
You mentioned
It's the ADHD.
mentioned half sideways, and you went off into a frenzy. You couldn't see
honestly.
straight for a while.
Can I ever see straight? That's the question.
Oh my god!
Oh, I see. Oh well.
That wasn't meant to be a gauge
No.
joke. It was meant to be a sideways joke.
Well, this
Louis.
was
I
Cryptiss, I was gonna ask you maybe
that
in a.
could be taken 2 ways.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
I was gonna ask you maybe in a different interview because maybe this is it's a touchy topic for some people, but it shouldn't be. Like, has your experience with the community been good in regards to your identity, or is like, do you notice that people treat you differently, or have they said things to you, or has it mostly been a good experience with KSF and the surfing general and community in general?
Well, I think me being gay, it's like kind of. I want to say it's just like an automatic thing where people are just gonna like make fun of me no matter what I do, and I just have to accept that. But I will say that KSF has been generally very great about it, because I know that there are a lot of like LGBT surfers who are very good, and I will say that like people are very accepting. Of course, there are outliers.
It's the gaming world. There's always gonna
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear. And yeah, I mean, obviously this is not the exact same thing. I'm gonna at some point gonna have to address like racism on KSF and how we had such a problem with racism and language use. And I don't know everybody's politics on that.
Ooh, there's a few different videos you can see for that.
I will say there are, and not to name like any names because I don't want to bring up drama, but I will say that there is one specific person, and if you know, you know, who actually got banned because they were saying some pretty homophobic shit about me and someone else that was with me, and I reported them, and they got banned forever. And they were a very known person on KSF, so it caused some kind
well,
of.
we're in a different time now for bans on the server compared to in the past as well.
Yeah, because I think Sam is very insistent on keeping KSF like diverse and like a safe place for different people. But you know, like it sucks when people are so active and so good and friends with so many people and they're just rotten eggs. You know what I mean?
I think the other thing is that we live in the real world now. Like, we're not 17-year-olds on a server anonymous, and when you go to a job and you have to treat everybody with respect, regardless of who they are, like, it bleeds into your gaming. And the best thing about this community is that people are aging. I mean, it's bad because it's dying because people go on and go to college and get jobs and have their lives. But it also means that I have to deal with less bullshit, probably. I can say, oh, this person who used the R word like 10 years ago, they're a doctor now. Okay? Like, please give me a fucking break. And
so I have bad news. You can start this without me because I actually have to download this.
You
Wait,
got
like
it.
you don't have
I don't have
Momentum
I don't have Momentum Playtest downloaded.
and it doesn't work on the other version, does it?
Nope.
Okay. I mean,
What do?
taking a look quickly, KSF has the only good thing on is Hourglass or Nuclear.
Hourglass could work.
Hourglass has curves. That doesn't. I don't think.
Nope, we're doing it. This is the solution. It's running. We're only gonna do it for a few minutes.
It's very makeshift.
I'm like dead serious. I've been having horrible motion sickness, and I need to like change my monitor. So we're only gonna do this for a few. And the fact that it's a tier 1, this fucking works. This fucking works, boys.
Okay.
I am ready to go. As soon as I start to say boys, I think I'm gonna crom it. Like, we stop, we do a quick outro. I want your socials. I want to know what's going on with y'all. Seriously,
We can plug all our stuff all in the background. We just hear you throwing up. It'll work like that.
I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, I cannot
That's all
believe
for this podcast. If you want to sub to my, and there's just like you throwing up in the background.
Oh boy. All right, let me know when you're in. I'm ready to go.
I am in.
Let me see here.
I'm joining.
I am rusty as hell. This might be ugly, but
Okay, what do I
I've
do?
never looked at this map
I wanna be
sideways.
able to see
neither have I. I
Wait a
know
minute.
Strig has the record.
side HUD. I want to see these two things because I want to see who is spectating. I did so much surfing in Mom. I think Mom is actually going to be better than KSF when it finally comes out. I think the fact that you can SVR instantly is sick. The fact that there's no lag. But I know that that's not the reason why KSF will beat Mom.
Yeah, the only reason is length of like competitiveness. Like KSF's had a head start by a lot of years.
Like 15 years, you know.
Also, if you want to really quickly see me try and take a look at the map sideways when I've never like done it before.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. Go. That'll give my stomach some time to adjust to this.
I haven't even done this map forwards in a long time.
Okay,
So this is going to be based off memory alone here.
So what you're doing, what I didn't expect, first of all, is you are looking away from the ramp, but now you're looking at it. Okay.
Yeah. Now I don't know where I'm going, so that's already a problem.
Would you safe lock this if you were gonna really run it? Like,
oh yeah, because this is a linear map. Like I don't have any breaks to stop with, so like when it's staged, I'll take my time. But if it's a map that I'm learning, I'll do something like this where I try and stay with my back to like the ramp as much as possible to look around more.
It gives you more depth of vision.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay, I'm going to fail. But you see what I did there where I looked forward because I had no clue what was going to come up next.
Right.
So it's like you stop, you look forward, you turn back, and you keep going like that. Like...
Now let's also see. Is there a map if it wasn't this one that you think I should rookie, right? All right,
it was
rookie
or beginner. Okay,
If
we could
can
almost
RTV,
hijack. Yeah, we could hijack the server. Wait, let me just... Okay, well, I threw my mouse away.
Oh.
I tried to type it mid around.
One more.
One more?
This is giving me nostalgia vibes, like when we weren't all on privates. You know what I mean?
Right.
Actually, I have a terrible confession. I am not whitelisted on a single private server.
I'm whitelisted on too many.
I'm whitelisted on 2.
Actually, I used to be whitelisted on like 6, but now I'm whitelisted on
I mean,
3.
when I first started going for Rex, I didn't have any. I would just hijack like one of the servers for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. Okay, now I have no clue what comes up next again. Okay. Oh. Okay.
You got people in chat talking about you, dude. You're famous.
Oh my god.
Is that the Louieismyname?
Where am I going now? Okay, well, yeah, that's like the point where I have no clue what I'm doing anymore.
All right. Well, the best thing about this is there's no pre-strafe. So how bad can it be, right?
That's true. Although I think there's a weird, wacky thing to the start of this map.
For optimal,
I don't
right?
even know if I can make it to this next ramp.
Oh, this is weird. Oh my god, I'm doing it. This is gonna be so hard. I wish we could go to rookie.
You're already trying.
I'm already trying.
Oh, you
fuck.
almost got the curve instantly.
Yeah, this is not bad. That's not bad, right?
You're
W
not
there?
going... Yeah, you weren't pressing any key there, were you?
I don't think so. Oh my god. Yeah, this is really
would
like my
recommend-
tummy's tumbling, bro.
I would recommend trying to stay high and then do the slight W while turning.
I was close there. That was really good. It's so dark too. That's gonna make this really fucking hard. I'm also gonna
Well,
save lock.
that's... Yeah. Yep, start it.
Where am I? No way. No way.
You're already getting a hang of it. Okay. Okay, this part
Is this surfable?
I mean, that kind of works, but that's
Save block.
terrain.
Save block.
Save block. Bring out the save block.
Okay. It's like my body like can tell that it's turning, and I can feel like in my stomach's trying to adjust. Oh, it's so bad, dude.
It's
I would maybe
tough.
recommend nuclear over this map because this one goes a bit dark and has a few weird awkward jumps.
Like I'm struggling with how dark this map is.
Yeah.
And you know what? I spent a lot of time on nuclear, so I would be down.
Okay,
it's
let's
big.
go. Let's go to the beginner server.
Oh, I just joined expert. It's on beginner.
I was thinking so many people in there.
Let's get it popping.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's show it. I mean, 53 people. I think it. Just
No,
says
it's ending. Spy Complex was here. Oh, we were late. Wait, did
that
they
could have
extend it?
been.
Oh,
Do
no.
you all
I
have
just
VIP?
I do.
yeah.
Join expert.
I'm an expert.
Oh wait, no, you can stay. It changed to Ace. I'd say that's just as
Ace?
good of a map to learn on.
Oh, this is true.
Spy interview soon? Question mark. There we go. Networking, boys.
I just got a Steam ID authorization error. Let's
Oh my
go.
god, look at this.
Oh no. Oh, you got stage 1 down. Okay. Okay. I don't need to teach you anything. You're a natural.
Holy shit.
He's got the wiggles in between stages.
He's wiggling.
Okay, I'm lucky there. Now doing this from no speed is going to be difficult. But you're starting to understand what I mean, where a lot of it is just intuition. Like, I haven't even had to say what to do to start here, and you've already just gone straight into it.
I may have done a little bit of sideways surfing, but not in preparation for this. Not for a long time.
Oh, never mind. We got a cheater.
What? Oh, no. You think I would? Oh, you think I'm that bad? I couldn't even fucking do it better side forward, bro. If I was cheating.
No, I'm not a cheater in the sense that you've.
Did you see that fucking look, bro? Did you see the look?
You checked? You checked?
I checked.
I think I have a PR on this map. Nope, I don't. I never did the last stage.
Damn. I did. I met Jay for the first time. Somebody told me about Jay. How he was way back in the day a legendary surfer. Especially like his PSI time would have been the oldest top 10 on KSF. But they
Oh.
like nuked the times or something like that. Oh my god, it's so bad. Like I can almost as soon as we started, I felt like something in the top of my stomach start to move. It's not good.
Oh, I just checked that time you're on about. The date literally says unknown.
It's amazing. He was really good back in the day, and I'm hoping to speak to him, especially to know about that 2012 era. Louis, what do you... If I was going to... Both of y'all, if I was going to ask y'all about surf history, like let's say I'm making No Leaks, a Utopia, world record history corrections, or world record history video, do you know anything about that, or what would you know about?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I can only help you with the terrible maps that I run. I can't hit you with any of those ones.
Loading
Gosh.
preview WR history? Come
Yeah,
on.
if you want anything like that.
Oh my god. No, this is impossible.
Ooh. See, this is the stage where you'd start having trouble because you have to figure out how to conserve units.
Yeah.
You're not able to just brute force through.
Even like basic unit things, like if I surf forward here for a second, it's not gonna like mess anything up, right?
As long as you don't complete the stage.
So like if I was gonna do this normally, I would want to board at the apex and then smoothly go to the next. But with sideways, all of that muscle memory is gone. It's like
Let's
doing it
go,
for the first time
baby.
again.
Oh, wait. Oh, I thought I beat the record. Damn it.
He just tried to do it.
I got
sideways.
rank 2 on sideways stage 1.
Oh,
No,
the
wait.
hole?
No, I did. It just says I beat it. I finished rank 2.
It's because there's a glitch time.
Damn it.
This is impossible. Where's my fucking coaching, boys? I suck.
I like the way you're trying to do the pre just now. It actually is almost right.
Oh my
Well,
god.
that's good. Okay. Oh, that was
I
too
didn't-
big of a flip.
I didn't know there was another ramp here. Can I moon it? It's so
No.
high. Wow.
So the way that you're doing it just now is going to be interesting. Trying to transfer from the ramp that you're on, facing into facing it like on the back, unless
How
you want to
would
cross
you?
over.
How would you want to do it?
I would personally do the other side, but that's me. I like facing away, like, and then
Oh
at the
shoot.
very end.
I'm also noticing that my recording is lagging.
Oh,
Wish that wasn't happening. Please?
could be after so long.
You might want to hide chat. This seems like the type of chat to like say a slur at some point.
Good call, good call, good call. It's mooted. Alright, it's a little
It's
laggy, but
mooted.
you know what? Yeah. Oh.
It's the full scuff practice now.
Alright.
You know what? We'll make it happen. It's too far gone.
Oh my god, everything's lagging now.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I restarted. Alright, boys. We're gonna end
You know
this
what?
out
It's
with
a
a
new
little bit of a
opportunity.
showcase from Cryptiss and Louieismyname with some sideways on Surf Ace. I think that's how we're doing it.
Oh my
Okay.
god, I haven't played this map in so long, but I'll try.
Go
I'll
ahead.
try to.
While I try to fix my recording. I wish I had prepared for this. I had this idea during the podcast, I'm not gonna lie. I should. God damn it. And Banana
Wait, is it
offered to add me to
still-
a private.
Is it still recording, or is it?
It's still recording, but it's like the FPS is really bad.
That's weird.
That's super weird. I just copped this new PC. It's a 3080 i9 something.
Ooh,
And it should be good,
okay.
Huh. Not downloading anything?
No, and it shouldn't be like this. This is really bad. You were asking if I'm like downloading porn? Is that what you were asking?
Oh, I just said anything, but
All right. Well, you implied heavily that it was porn.
Anything.
anything?
Uh-oh, I just edged that. That's unlucky.
Wow. Just the diffy. How quick? Like, have you played this map sideways a lot?
I used to go for the individual stages, but I have not like ran the actual map in a long ass time.
All right, we're gonna check Crypt. You see
Check
me?
Crypt, he'll have a better.
You really
Attempt
think
in
so?
that. Oh
You
yeah.
guys having a good ass time right now. Yes, sir. It's only 6. Is that sideways? What's happening? I'm frozen. There we go.
Man, I'm trying my darndest. It's just not working out very well.
But it looks really good. It looks like 10 times better than what I was doing. All right, boys. Where can we find you on YouTube and Twitch? What should we be looking out for in the future? From y'all, from Angle.Surf, what's on the horizon? Tell us.
You can find me on YouTube. It's just my name, just Cryptiss. My Twitch is Cryptiss__. Yeah, give me check a look at my channels if you're interested. And yeah, thank you for getting this far into it if you have.
Hell yeah.
I love you. Yeah.
My stuff is Louieismyname on Twitch, YouTube, OnlyFans, whatever you want to find me on, you'll find me.
Oh, link to that
Just look
OnlyFans,
for
please,
that.
right now. Go.
Hey, you think I'm
Someone's
joking?
down bad.
Are you joking? Or are you not joking?
I am not joking, but it also is not an account that actually exists anymore. You can take a look. Wait, let me send it. Look at my description.
Is this a me? Okay, hold on. It better be like a surf only. Surfer selling hot world records. Let's go.
I decided, you know, you're trying to change the industry with your videos. I was going to change it with mine. So,
Oh
yeah,
my
follow me
God.
on anything.
Don't get me hot and bothered.
Follow me on Twitch and YouTube at the same name there.
Thank you so much for watching. Very soon, the Lemix player profile and interview will be coming out. Sorry for the delay on that. And then hopefully some new stuff next week, as well as an event that I'm going to be trying to organize, possibly with Ben and Gemini. But no promises and no leaks. And as always, good luck sliding those triangles.
I love you. Stay in school.
Bye.